Thank you for remembering. Yes, welcome everyone. I'm Nathan Graves. I am the District 5000 Community Service Chair for Rotary again this year, and it's great to see some of the same faces signing up for another year of being your club service chair as last year, and all the rest of you who are joining the meeting. My home club is the Rotary Club of Waikiki, and today we have a pretty exciting agenda. We're going to start off with Glenn Bailey, who is with Honolulu Sunset Rotary, and he has been his club's community service chair for a long time and is probably one of the most organized in the district in terms of end to end getting a project going and getting the district grant approved and making it happen in the service and closing it out. And then we have a few different organizations who are going to talk about ways that our clubs can collaborate and team up with some really great projects. And then we're kind of going to end with a brainstorming session on some ideas for a district-wide project. If someone thinks that there's a project that could really, we could put all hands on deck and do something that makes a statewide impact. So welcome everyone, and I will turn it over to Glenn Bailey.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
We got you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Aloha from the Rotary Club of Honolulu Sunset. And Nathan had asked me to give a little presentation this morning on how we do projects in our club. Of course, the key for us being able to do projects is the Rotary Foundation, and we have really encouraged our members to give over the years, which has allowed us to get a lot of money back every year to do it. But once we get that call for to have a new project, I put out this little letter or how to do it to all of our members. And I usually start in May, and I ask the members, because the best projects we've done over the years haven't come from me. It's come from members who reached out in the community or talking to someone, and then they formulated a project. And so we try to make sure that it is not a project that we're telling someone, hey, we're going to do this for you, but we get a letter from them saying exactly what it is they want. In some cases, we actually have committee meetings like with our adopted school, where we go and meet with them and find out what are their needs. But the first requirement is for the organization that wants the support to give us a formal request signed by whoever's in charge there. And that kind of gets the ball rolling. That gives me the information that I need to be able to put together a grant proposal that would then be voted on by the board. And so I'm sharing this with you and what we send out. As you can see, a lot of the things that we ask for is exactly what you need to put on the form and to make, and for both the form at the beginning and also when you have to do your closeout at the end of the year. One of the key things we tell all of our members is that during this portion of the process, do not commit that we're going to help you. Say we're looking at proposals. We'd be glad to consider anything you have, but it is the board, not me or the person that's putting it together, that makes a commitment. It has to be voted on by the board. Now, as you know, a lot of the organizations, when they ask for support, they ask for the Cadillac, and you're not always able to give them that much depending on how many projects you were going to do. So maybe we can do a portion of what they're looking for and not the entire amount. We let them know that you can't go out and buy anything if we approve it. We'll find out about approval. This year we found out in, I believe, July. But the money just got released last week in September. And so we tell the folks, make sure that you don't go out and buy anything, because one of the rules of Rotary is they cannot buy items for the project in advance of receiving the money. The receipts have to be after the money was received. Sometimes the money is in the form of a check and they buy the items and then we join up with them. Sometimes it's our club goes out and purchases or upfronts the money, gets the receipts, and then we get with the organization. So example of that is we have a shopping with families. We take families from Hug's House every year shopping to Walmart for items that they need because they're in a stressful situation because of a child that's real sick. And then we just put in a check request with the receipts for that to make it happen. Feel free to ask any questions, by the way, as we're going along here. Also, so I just put in this letter. I'm trying to scroll down. I'm not sure what it was at the bottom here. Yeah, that the members get the request to us by the end of May, and that way we have time for our board to meet and put together the project. Some of the projects we're doing this year is the Hugs House that I just talked about. We have a women in need shelter that we've been helping for about 20 years now. This year we're buying dressers and chairs for them. Our adopted school, Jefferson Elementary School, we have actually done a project with that school almost every single year since I've been a Rotarian. That was 27 years ago that I joined. And so I actually wrote a paper. I think I sent it to Nathan, or maybe not. If I haven't, I can send it to you. It's on, if you adopt a school, you maybe do one project, you don't feel, well, that didn't help them out. But if you start adding them up year after year after year, you can make a significant change in that school. And in the case of our school, we get with the principal, we get with the teachers, find out exactly what their needs are, and we try to focus our projects for the school. This year, we're doing banners that are Hawaiian style banners that they're going to put around the school to kind of show some unity with the children that go there. Also, we give a scholarship every year to the the KCC Culinary School, where we send one student to this to pay for their scholarship for the spring semester. This is for a student that's coming from Hawaii, graduated from a Hawaii high school, trying to get themselves through college, and we give something for that. Anybody have any questions so far?
Glenn, I got a question. This is Jerry at Honolulu Sunrise. Can we get a copy of your letter? I like this approach, and it's a little more formal than we normally take.
Yeah, I sent it to Nathan, and I think Nathan has everyone's emails that he could send it to. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I should be able to, if you want a copy, put so in the chat and I can send anyone who would
Can you
like a
send it
copy.
to everybody at once, Nathan?
I can't just send it to the people at this call at once. It would have to be the entire email list, and that might be a little confusing. But if you'd like a copy of this, just put it in the chat, and then I'll make sure to send everyone who puts it in the chat a copy.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? I don't want to go over my time. It's kind of straightforward. It tries to follow the rules that the district has put out on projects, and also I get together and find out what Rotary International goals are for the year, and so that helps us try to stay on track of what themes the district governor is trying to support, things that the national is trying to support.
Glenn, I have a question.
Yes.
How do you decide to whom you're sending this letter?
Oh, I send this letter here to every member in our club, because it's every member's in my mind, every member has an opportunity at the beginning of the year to submit a project if they're working on one. So it's not, and then we also, excuse me, I just lost my my mic here. they in turn would get with the organization and show them or give the letter to whoever they're working. I wouldn't have visibility of that. So I send it to each of our members and then have them work with the organizations to make sure that everything in this letter is covered when they make their request. And then again, once we get all the requests, and every year we have more requests than we can fill, we meet as a board, go over every project, the merit of the project, and is it something the Rotary wants to do? We try to make several projects where we're hands-on, where we're there. We don't want to be a check writing organization. We just write a check and walk away. But look for projects that your members can go out and do with this. So like when the dressers and chairs come for women in need, we'll set up a work day because most of the time it's the kind of stuff you have to put together. We'll go over there and put everything together for them. Okay, anything else? I think that's my 10 minutes.
Well, that was great, and Glenn is a great resource. So, Glenn, if you don't mind putting your contact information in the chat, folks might reach out to you as they go through their planning year. And thank you so much for that. Now we're gonna move to the portion of the agenda I'm taking down real quick. Everyone who would like a copy of that, so that's great. Where we invited, outside organizations to talk about ways to partner with Rotary. And Glenn actually has a project with the Veterans Center that he's going to talk about a way that Rotary could get involved, hopefully at scale. So I'm going to turn it back to Glenn to talk about our first project partnering opportunity.
Okay, so I had been trying to help out our district along the way. In 2013, we actually did, our club led a event out at US Vets out in Barbers Point. If you're familiar, that's a homeless place for homeless vets to restart their lives. They have 135 beds out there, and they also took over the management of the tiny home community that the state put in with a lot of partners, including our Rotary Club and I think a couple other Rotary clubs for the tiny homes. So there's 37 people that live in the tiny homes. So you add that up, it's 150 some folks. And we had a big work day, and I think 8 to 10 Rotary clubs got together that day, and we did a great thing. We had a big luncheon and a band playing and that type of thing. I'd like to revive that project and propose that on November 11th, which is Veterans Day coming up, that we host a Veterans Day luncheon at Barbers Point. And the luncheon would honor the 135 vets and 35 tiny home members that are there. We give them lunch. We did this last year, just our club, and oh, good, you put it up. And I got the ROTC unit to come out for the flag. I got the Army band to play. But this year, they actually have some needs. And so we're asking any clubs that would be interested to help split the cost of the eventos. Also that they would like to have pre-made hygiene kits. And I can send to you any club that's going to join into this, what those would look like. It'd be like towels, soap, shampoo, toothpaste and toothbrushes, that type of thing. And we'd put them in bags, and then we'd give them to the new vets coming in or vets that are really on hard times and don't have money to buy that kind of thing. At the same time, they do have asked for us to donate during this event non-perishable foods, so we could have a food drive also at the same time for cans and things that could be permitted. So I'd like to call this a D5000 community service event, not a Rotary Club of Honolulu Sunset, and see how many of the clubs here on Oahu, I don't know if any of the clubs on the other islands would like to jump in on this, but focusing on the clubs on Oahu, if you can, if you're interested, I'm about to put my information in the chat, but if you're interested in joining with this thing, I would get a point person from each club, and then we'd get together and kick it off.
Great. Thank you,
I
Glenn.
do have a question. Does District 5000 have funds for a D 5000 projects? I have no idea. I've never asked that question before.
They do. I don't know about the budget. I think it's all come from clubs, but maybe Benson or Rich might know if there's some secret money I don't know about. I'm gonna.
Yeah, there is money. I mean, every club gets their portion of their district designated funds are called DDF. And you can actually clubs can get together and combine that money if they want to. You can also either participate or start a global grant if it's something like big. So, minimum for global grants like $30,000, but there's definitely money. So don't let the money part stop you.
Okay, so
Yeah, and actually,
I'm sorry. The budget for this is somewhere around $3,000 to buy the lunches and then get the other folks. The band volunteers their time. And we do buy lunches for everybody that's volunteering that's coming.
and Benson made a good point. That's one of the great things about our district is they do actually pass the money back to the clubs. So when we give to the foundation and we get some of that back into DDF, your club's able to allocate that. Some districts keep that money and kind of make you apply with them. And then it becomes sometimes there's some animosity if you've been in Hawaii outside of Rotary outside of Hawaii, who gets approved and who doesn't. But the way our district does it is awesome because when your club gives, that money comes back and you can allocate towards school projects like this one. So yeah, if we can get as many clubs as possible in on this is the kind of project we could get on DG Nancy's newsletter and really make an impact at the Veterans Center. So please reach out to Glenn if your club is willing to chip in and be part of it from a monetary standpoint, or if you have a volunteer or two who's able to go out as well.
Hey, Glenn, this is Jerry from Honolulu Sunrise again. Check your email. I think okay, it looks like you corrected it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just one G. Is Bailey G 001 at hawaii.rr.com.
Thank you, Glenn. We're gonna move on to our second project opportunity, and that's going to be Jerry Denton is going to be sharing his idea for a district-wide project here. Jerry, do you want to take it away and I can get it pulled up on the screen?
If you would go ahead. So I'm going to be talking about Hui Mahi Aina, which is a homeless community program that uses the tiny homes and it provides village-style housing, essential facilities, and long-term support. Primarily, right now they're in Waimanalo. However, they're expanding. They've got the support of the governor and all several mayors, and they're actually going to be expanding into Waianae, Wailuku, Kihei. They've got 12 acres of private land already set aside in Hilo, and their next project is going to be Molokai. Now they're breaking ground on an adjacent property end of this month, which will house 300 people, and that will also have a clinic, a hospice facilities, and a halfway house for Ho'ola Napua trafficked teens. So it's a little bit premature. What's happening is as each of these new locations come into focus and are being moved forward, my intent is to bring the founder, which is Blanche McMillan, out to each of Rotary clubs in the adjacent areas to see if there's a fit for each of the clubs individually to support them. I'll be working with her from a kind of a business standpoint as they establish some of the properties. I have some experience with nonprofits and how nonprofits can have multiple locations with different facilities. So that's kind of the task that I'm taking on. And then we're fortunate enough to have some developers in our club who will be working as far as making sure some of the infrastructure and logistics get put in place with these new locations. So each of the locations, of course, have got their challenges. Some are funded, some are not. Some have got property already established. But the DLNR has been really good about providing state lands for these on a long-term basis. These are forever homes for these people, and they're actually totally self-sustaining. They do all of their own growth of they generate their own electricity. They hook up their own sewage, and it's something that's very dear to us. We've been working for them for a couple of years, and like this is just kind of a preliminary thing where I'll be reaching out to the clubs in the areas that they're growing into, and then seeing if there isn't a fit for the clubs to be of service to them as they grow their environments. So that's kind of my 30 seconds or 2 minutes. Thank you.
And we're good on time, Jerry. So does anyone have any questions? I do think this would be an awesome opportunity as they get more locations if Rotary could chip in kind of from, clubs around each location. And especially if there's something kind of standard that you find that each of them need, that we could make it a district-wide project.
Yeah, that's my hope too.
When the tiny homes were done out at Barbers Point, I know our club, and I believe there were two others, Rotary clubs, we donated furniture, and then we went out there when the homes were ready and actually installed that furniture inside. So it was ready for the people to be need whatever they needed, beds, the dresser, a chair, that type of thing. And so it was a whole work day. I mean, probably 100 people showed up to put all the items in the 37 homes because they didn't put the furniture until the last home was built. So that's one idea of how Rotary clubs can get involved.
Great. Any other questions for Jerry? Okay, well, thank you, Jerry. Let's, I think this is a great thing for Rotary to get involved in. So keep me updated as you get more clarification from those on the project, what we could get our clubs to chip in on and potentially district-wide. Okay, and our next presentation is going to be from Branch with the Rescue Tube Foundation. I know our club has done a Rescue Tube project in the past, and excited to share that across the district again. So why don't you take it away?
There we go. Always helps to unmute your mic. Thank you very much, Nathan. And I appreciate the time to speak to all of you today. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Branch Lotspeech. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Hanalei Bay. I was the Community Services Chair for, 5 or 6 years, going back a ways. I've been a member of Rotary since about 2006. One of our biggest projects just happens to be behind me. It's the pier over here, the Hanalei Bay Pier, was completely destroyed with weather over the years and had become a danger really to people going out there. And we raised funds and got the state's permission. I chaired the committee working with the state, and we replaced it. So we have a good, solid history of working on larger, major projects. I'm here to talk about rescue tubes today, and 2 items I'm going to bring up quickly. Just a background: the Rescue Tube Foundation that I was a founder of and the executive director since its inception, came out of the Rescue Tube of the Rotary Club of Hanalei Bay back in 2008. We began placing these public access rescue tubes that you can see right here, and I think many of you, most of you probably have seen them on your own beaches. Initially on Kauai, it was a project done, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness, and we just went and put them out. That's changed entirely. DLNR has gotten supportive. The state government has gotten supportive. There are in Hawaii right now approximately 530, 550 rescue tubes. Rescue tubes are on all major islands. Oahu, candidly, is the last to join us because they have such a strong lifeguard community there. And but they have now embraced that. And so even on Oahu, there are 20 or 30 rescue tubes and many more to come. The foundation as a nonprofit was put together specifically because it was a project bigger than a Rotary Club can handle, even to spread it through the district, through the state of Hawaii. And so we incorporated in 2010 as a nonprofit. There are now rescue tubes in North Carolina, in Florida, in Southern California, Northern California, even outside of Vancouver. I'm talking to people in Australia and New Zealand and in Europe. It's an idea of public access flotation devices to protect would-be rescuers. It's an idea whose time maybe hasn't come, but is certainly coming. The idea is to protect a rescuer who's going to put themselves in harm's way to go out into an open ocean to try to protect someone, be it family, friend, or just a stranger out there. We want to make sure that anyone who goes in the water to try to perform some sort of an assist to a rescuer, to a swimmer in distress, has a flotation device. It's essential. So two-prong approach, that the reason for being here. One is that every year, as most of you know, the Foodland organization has in the month of September the ability to ask their patrons, their customers, to donate to nonprofits. They then match, Foodland matches these donations to some degree, not 100%. And for the second year, the Rescue Tube Foundation has agreed to participate in this. So I'm specifically here to ask you to personally, but through your clubs and your friends and family, to ask people to go to your local Foodland anytime in the month of September and donate right through the cash register, just as you're doing it. There'll be banners at in the various Foodlands that tell you of some of the organizations, not all. I just put in the chat a brochure that isn't going to show up here very well, but anyway, that gives the details. But really all anyone needs to do is just go in and say they want to give to the Rescue Tube Foundation. And the Rescue Tube Foundation, they'll find it quickly in their computer. And whether it's $5 or $105, it doesn't make any difference. We just want to do this as a way of bringing some additional funds into the organization as we grow. So that's the first thing. And if it's possible to send the attachment, and Nathan has this as well, if you can send it out to your membership in each of the clubs, it would be very, very appreciated. These small donations add up very quickly. And we are a hand-to-mouth organization. We do not have big funding. We're looking for it. So that's item one, just a direct request of approach to you guys to support us and to share the brochure and your word and support. Secondly, and much more importantly, the state of Hawaii has finally, after 17 years of our being in existence, realized what we were doing for the state of Hawaii. And the Rescue Tube Foundation was given this year a grant in aid to allow us to provide rescue tubes into the state of Hawaii. Typically, and if you're a club member that's been working with us over the years, you have to buy the rescue tubes from us because I had no funding to provide them in any way. I now will have funding in the next several months to buy between 400 and 500 rescue tubes. Keep in mind, there are about 550 installed in Hawaii. So this is a number of rescue tubes that would allow us to double the number of rescue tube stations in the state of Hawaii. We know of hundreds and hundreds of uses of these rescue tubes. It's been estimated through an ER doc here on Kauai, Dr. Downs, that 40 or 50 lives have been saved by this program that was basically started in Rotary. Lives right here in Hawaii. How often do we get the opportunity to do a project saving lives in our own backyards? So my outreach to you and my request that you consider working with us for a district-wide Rotarian project is that I'm going to be able to provide 400 or 500 rescue tubes. These will be available to all 6 major islands. They're currently on all 6 major islands, including Lanai and Molokai. But I'm going to be able to give these rescue tubes to your clubs as long as we can work out an arrangement so that you provide the boots on the ground. That's what I'm looking for, the boots on the ground to install the rescue tubes. Locations will be selected predominantly through the Hawaii Lifeguard Association. I'm working with Kalani Rivera, its president, who I know quite well, and the other lifeguard directors of the various islands. And we will pick and get permission, specific locations to place the rescue tubes, but we do not have the manpower at this point. I will, of course, be going back to the clubs I've been working with for a long time, and on Oahu, quite honestly, the Lions clubs have stepped up. So this is an opportunity once again for Rotarians and Lions members to work together on a very, very important life-saving community service project for the state of Hawaii. The funds, it's unclear when exactly they'll be available, but they'll be available in the next few months, and they'll go out over the course of a year. There's going to take a lot of coordination. That'll come out of my office. So that is really what I'm wanting you all to consider as you look into the possibility of a district-wide project for this coming year. I can provide the rescue tubes. That's new. You don't have to use district funds. You don't have to, do fundraising or anything. There will be, full disclosure. There are small expenses that I probably won't be able to cover for some of the pipes. It cost about $5 per rescue tube station to put this little white pipe that we use, an irrigation pipe. But the rescue tubes and the straps to hold the rescue tubes in place, that will all come from me. So in general, please ask people to donate to the Rescue Tube Foundation during the month of September through Foodland. And more importantly, would you please consider working with me, working with the Rescue Tube Foundation for a Hawaii-specific project to save lives of our residents and our visitors. Thank you.
Thank you, Branch. That's awesome, and an amazing opportunity to be able to make your district grant funds go very far with that grant, teaming up with the Rescue Tube Foundation to install those. So please reach out to Branch about getting your club involved and getting the tubes set up, and then there's some ongoing maintenance, I believe, once they're set up, so you can have an idea of what your club is signing up for and making an impact. And I know there's been a lot of successful saves out of those tubes already, which is makes it all worth it. So that's fantastic. So next, that is all of the speakers we had scheduled on the agenda, but I did want to open it up if there is anyone on this call that's involved in an organization that wants to partner with Rotary. Or if you have an idea for another project that could be a district-wide effort or a multi-club effort that maybe your club doesn't have the capacity to do alone, but you're passionate about. So if anyone has something they'd like to share, the Zoom is now open.
Aloha, good morning, everyone. Nathan, is it okay if I go ahead?
Yes, Molly, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I think this brainstorming around community service and how our Rotarians can get involved is really awesome. I am a member of the Windward Rotary Club on Oahu, And I'm the president-elect, incoming, was the past secretary. But I also, in my day job, have the honor of being the newly appointed CEO for the American Red Cross for the Pacific Islands region, which oversees the whole state of Hawaii and a lot of other islands in the Pacific region. But I'm coming to the Rotarians. I've had the opportunity to meet Benson on wearing his countywide hat. And as we were talking about what our communities need, local neighborhoods, every community needs preparedness. And as we're, in hurricane season and our islands are unique, I'm asking every club to kind of consider inviting the Red Cross locally to present to your club, or to gather several clubs together to do a watch party. We have preparedness information that is available for everybody, from households and kapuna, keiki, but it's also particularly important for people to come together. There's an opportunity for Rotarians to support community preparedness. And we work in partnership with lots of other organizations. We're looking for volunteers that would be helping your own area. So for instance, I'm over on the windward side in Kailua and Kaneohe. And if there are volunteers that are Rotarians that also want to potentially volunteer and help out, either long-term or just sporadically when there's need and things like that. The Red Cross is always looking for volunteers. Capable, and we provide all the training. It's free, and just looking for collaboration between Rotarians who are the clubs that we have in District 5000 are all across our islands, and we serve all of our Hawaiian islands. And that's exactly the way that the American Red Cross is structured. We are in all of the islands and in every community. We're trying to build up our capacity in our history and our legacy of the Red Cross in Hawaii. Queen Liliuokalani was one of our first supporters. And back in 1917, when she supported the American Red Cross and flew a Red Cross flag over Iolani Palace, at that point, 1 in 6 citizens in Hawaii were Red Crossers. And that level of community activation of neighbors helping neighbors is where we're looking to get back to. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Molly. That's awesome. And Rotarians should be interested in volunteering, and for inviting folks out for a training session or a safety session. Is there a link, or what's the best way to approach the Red Cross about scheduling something like that?
I'll put my information in the chat, but you can always reach us at redcross.org/Hawaii.
Great. And I know this is a community service meeting today, but as a person who wore another hat of being program chair for my club for 3 years, I'm sure your program chair will appreciate passing on that information and getting the Red Cross on the calendar. So thank you, Molly. Anyone else that would like to present or has an idea for the district?
Hey, Nathan, I just want to sort of add on to Molly's presentation. She took the time and came to visit us at Hawaii County just to talk about the Red Cross. And we're gearing up over here. Actually, when I'm done here, I'm going to be going into the emergency command center for our county to just sort of get ready for whatever may be coming of this approaching hurricane. And a lot of the stuff that we do, we try to partner with the Red Cross. We can't do all of it. So the services they provide really essential. And if somebody's looking for someplace where they want to volunteer and they want to make a commitment to volunteering over a long period of time, I highly recommend the Red Cross. So just wanted to add on top of what Molly just said. So
Molly, could you put in the chat your email? I'm also
Yeah.
speaker chair, so it would be good to have that.
Excellent. Thank you, Mahala Benson. And yes, I'm typing as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Molly's also a good person to connect with if you need a speaker at your meeting.
Yeah, Molly, that's awesome.
It's myself and I have an entire team, and a lot of them are fellow volunteers that
Yeah.
would come and present as well. So there's opportunities to be a volunteer and then to be a speaker for community preparedness. So there's lots of ways to get involved. It really comes down to our communities helping each other out and taking initiative to be involved.
One
Thank
more
you,
thing,
Molly.
Nathan,
Oh, yeah.
and Nathan, one more thing I'd like to add is that when we go and meet with the uh, other Rotarian districts and clubs on the West Coast, and one of the things that comes up is they say, so where do you guys find your service projects? I mean, how do you know, where do you go to get them? And I always say, no, they in Hawaii, there's so many nonprofits out there, they come to us. So, I mean, it's just a matter of how much can we do, right? So we're kind of, and I don't know why it isn't like that in the other areas, but you know, when we go to these national conferences, we're like, no, man. I mean, we're loaded with stuff that we can do over here because you know, our nonprofits that are out there, they're super active, and you know, they're always looking for somebody to, you know, pick up rubbish, paint something, repair something, hand out food. I mean, we just did this 4 weeks of you know, Bev was in there too of cow for keikis, right? Over the summer, providing food for you know, kids that are on the summer because they only eat really when they're in school. And man, that was four straight weeks of work. But you know, uh, and if it wasn't for, at least in our site, it was primarily all Rotarians, and so lots of opportunity to do stuff out there. So just, you know, want to encourage everybody to, you know, go for it if they can. So I'll stop talking now.
No, that's great to connect it with the real world experience. And before I wrap up here today, is there anyone else who wanted to share a project idea or an organization they're a part of?
Nathan,
Is there?
I just wanted to mention that I'm not sure of the current number of Rotary clubs in Hawaii. Is it 48?
It's actually 50.
Okay, 50.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to point out to everyone, there are 51 public libraries all across the state. So anyone looking for an easy connection, go to your local library. A lot of them do have friends groups.
Yeah.
Some of them don't and could use a friends group, but there are always projects through your library and bringing in special programs right to the library. Molly, for example, I don't know if you've ever done a program at the library, but programs draw people into the library. So anytime you can help out your local library, I would suggest going in and talking and asking how you might be able to help them.
That's a great idea. And libraries are great because your club, big or small, can find something to do with them that makes an impact.
Nathan, I'd like to add on, this isn't really a project idea as much as this is more conceptual, something that our club is hoping to kind of embrace this year. And where for service projects, rather than the Rotarians being the workforce behind it, to partner with businesses in the local community who probably want to be doing service, but they don't have the time to organize it. And so where we help establish what the projects are and do a lot of the coordinating and of course help with it, but then partner with local businesses so that they too are providing the manpower and hopefully some of the funding so that it becomes more of a collaboration rather than just Rotary attempting to do these things. They're depending on the age of the club members or, the work status or time that the members have, that can kind of limit us to what we're able to do. But hopefully with partnering with local businesses, we're hoping to really be able to expand the service things that we're able to do with our community.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea to get Rotary's name out there and expand the impact of the project. So if you're able to successfully do one of those, please send it to me, and we can look to get it into District Governor Nancy's newsletter, because I think that would be something cool to put out there, a project that was co-sponsored with a business and got their workforce out to work on it as well. So great idea, and I think we all should be thinking of ways to do that, and who knows, you might get some members from that business too once they know what Rotary is about. So.
Absolutely. And the other thing, if for projects that people are doing, if you're looking for extra manpower, one thing we did last year was just posted things on Meetup. And so we just got members of the community who showed up just because they wanted to volunteer and help. And so that was also a really good way to just kind of expand Rotary's reach and involve others within the community.
Great. Well, thank you. Those are both great ideas there. I think that if anyone else has anything, if not, I'm going to let us out a little bit early because, some of you have been on the call since 9, but I was glad to just have so many of you sign up to join and speak. So it's not just, me and Benson and Naomi only talking to you. It was great to get folks who are in these organizations. And I did drop Glenn's guide, which it seems like everybody wants, into the chat. So if you're able to pull it, just please pull it in the chat right now. But if you're unable to, I will send you an email if you request it, but you should be able to download it. It's in the chat. And thank you, Glenn and Branch and Jerry.
I also added the sheet that gives the details on the U.S. vets. It's also in the chat for the U.S. Vets Veterans Day project.
And
Okay,
I'll
great.
add that I put in my contact information for anyone who'd like to get directly back to me. But thank you very much. I so appreciate what Rotary has done in helping save lives here in Hawaii, and look forward to expanding this program.
Okay, well, thank you all, and we'll leave the room open for a couple minutes so you can grab your favorite project ideas there that were dropped in the chat or guides. But we'll kind of adjourn and let everyone take off. Thanks, everyone.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Stop the recording here. Yeah, they won't stop.